Okay, how's it going, everyone? It's back out of this options menu. Didn't realize I was still in there. We are going to play a little bit of standard. I'm in the middle of doing laundry, so I figured I'd get some matches in while my stuff's drying. I think for the first time in, man, gotta be several months, all of my clothes are either being cleaned, hung up, or folded ready to be hung and put away. As you can see, I'm in my closet right now. It's a gorgeous walk-in closet. I'll be really sad when this is gone. You know, I thought it was just kind of a superfluous extra when I moved into this place, but now I'm like, I love this thing. You just set up small gaming setup here. I got my PC. I'm not gonna move my webcam. Maybe we'll do a little tour at some point, but I got a little cat bed over here. Ugh. So she can sleep and hang out with me while we play. Got some LED lights. Oh, my strip fell. Let's fix that. Didn't notice that. Oh, it never stays on very well, so I'm not too worried about it. But there we go. So let's go over. We're gonna play some standard. We're not gonna play meta or any of my better performing decks. Let's just go to my decks. We'll go over my standard decks right now. Um, yeah, I don't have very many. We've got Rakdos Constructs, which is my most meta deck. I think I'm 5-0, 6-0 with it. Golgari Humans, which is not very good. I made it specifically because I had a quest that was cast X number of green and black spells. So I figured, why not? Let's just make a deck. Um, I've got Is It Delver, which is definitely my number one deck. I've played about 15 matches with it or something, about a 70% win rate right now with it. And then I just made this deck focused around blood tokens. I thought that's the one we're going to use today. Again, it's not very good. If I had to rank these, it would be Rakdos Constructs, Is It Delver, Golgari Humans, and then Blood Tokens. Though I think Blood Tokens has a chance to be a pretty good deck. I need to make some upgrades. Um, we got this shirt on, playing to the blood pain theme here. My necklaces out? Yeah, they are good, and they're not. Yeah, and the back's normal. Okay. But let's just go through. We'll go through all my standard decks. This is the first of my standard series. Um, I'm also drinking a Two Towns Cider House Two Berry Dream. I think it is a berry limeade. Yeah, blackberries, currants are the two berries, and it's a berry limeade. Very good. 5.3% alcohol. Nothing crazy. But yeah, let's go from best to worst. So we've got Rakdos Constructs. This is essentially one of the decks. Is there a way to do the visual layout? I feel like there is, and I don't know. Is that? There we go. You end up getting the precon deck Ignite the Forge if you play enough of the challenges. Oh, I already see a little adjustment we can make here. But the deck is basically centered around Soken's and Smelter, which is 1 and a red for a 2/2. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may pay 1 and sack an artifact. If you do, create a 3/1 red construct artifact creature token with haste. So we use that, and then we use Oni Cult Anvil. Whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn, although once per anvil you have on the field. Tap, sack an artifact, Oni Cult Anvil deals 1 damage to each opponent, you gain 1 life. So that's basically this energy. We're going to play something like Voldaren Epicure to get a blood token out. We're going to play our Sokens and Smelter. I always want to put the second Z in there. Sokenzan Smelter. We're going to play him at the beginning of our upkeep. We'll play him in our pre-combat main phase, unlike normal. We will then pay 1, sack the blood token, and create a 3/1 red construct. Then on turn 3, we will play our Oni Cult Anvil. So we can, well, let's say we play our Oni Cult Anvil and we play another experimental synthesizer. So now we have an artifact that when it enters or leaves the battlefield, exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. So if it's you missed your land drop, you get this. If it's a land, you can play it. That really helps. But basically, it's there to be sacrificed, and has it enters and leaves the battlefield trigger take effect. Pay 2 and a red, sack it, create a 2/2 white samurai creature token with vigilance, activate only as a sorcery. I don't think I've ever used that. So turn 3, we'd play Oni Cult Anvil, we'd play experimental synthesizer. Now we sack our experimental synthesizer to our smelter. We create a 1/1 colorless construct. So now we can keep chaining our 1/1 leaving to create a 3/1, and we just end up with a swarm of cards of attackers that overwhelm the opponent. We run Voltaic Surge or Voltage Surge as some removal. 2 damage, target creature Planeswalker. If you sack an artifact, it's 4 damage instead. Infernal Grasp, one of the best removal spells of all time, in my opinion. Sanguine Statuette can help us with our aggressive attack game plan, but it also just creates a blood token and is itself an artifact, so if we need to sacrifice it. Bloodtooth Harvester, I often like to play this on turn 2, because it, in so many decks, it can be such a huge threat. In ours, I almost just use it as a removal magnet. Like, I might be playing it wrong, but it gets us a blood token, and they're really worried about it, so they kill it instead of our Sokens and Smelter. Then we have Fable of the Mirror Breaker, creates a 2/2 Goblin Shaman. Whenever it attacks, it creates a treasure token, another artifact for us to sacrifice. You may discard up to 2 cards. If you do draw that many cards, exile it, return to the battlefield, transformed under your control. Create a token that's a copy of another target non-legendary creature you control, except it has haste. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. So that can create another Sokens and Smelter. So we end up getting 2 3/1s. We can make another copy of Braids Arisen Nightmare. Again, another kind of removal magnet card. But if if they don't remove it, you have a ton of value because you're going to be sacrificing artifacts anyway. You're going to have 1/1 constructs you can sacrifice. You don't really have enchantments you can sacrifice, I guess, but well, you could sacrifice Fable of the Mirror Breaker if they had something out that you really needed to get rid of. And then put a pin in that. Obnixilis, the adversary, you may sacrifice a creature with power X when you do copy this spell. So you end up with 2 of him, so you're able to sacrifice one of your Obnixilises, use its -2 effect. Should you sacrifice like a Bloodtithe Harvester, it'll enter with 3 loyalty, use its -2 effect, sacrifice it with Braids Arisen Nightmare, make them get rid of their Planeswalker. If they don't, they lose life and you draw a card, which helps. That's basically the deck. And then I know I got another copy of Sulphurous Springs, so I think we're going to add that and take out a Bloodfell Caves just to speed us up a little bit. We don't really worry about the damage it deals to us because our goal is being very aggressive. Um, so let's add one of the. Oops. Screwed up. Oh, wait, we do this, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's add both of these. Let's remove a Bloodfell Caves. Everything else looks good. You could add a Xander's Lounge just as a way to cycle out a land later in the game. I guess that wouldn't be a terrible idea. But we're not going to do it for now. And I think that's good. So done. Is it Delver? I'm still working on this. It is just Delver of Secret. Oh, let's do I like this other card view. We use 4 Consider, 4 Delver of Secrets, so we're hoping for this in our opening hand. Beginning of our upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it's an instant or sorcery, then transform this into its 3/2 flyer, so you can begin putting pressure on them really early. Where it needs work is I run 2 Fading Hope and 4 Shore Up. And those are basically there to save my Delver of Secrets or my Festival Crasher, just to keep up tempo. They can, waste their removal spell or whatever. I mean, plus this pumps a creature, so I can end up using this as a blocker again next turn. And it ends up giving him +3, +1, essentially. We run the things I think I need to change are on 1 copy of Thirst for Discovery for the late game. If you end up, I think I only run 21 lands, so sometimes you end up with too many lands. You just don't need them. You want to be drawing gas the whole game. Then I run 2 copies of Wandering Mind. They let me lets me look at the top 6 cards of my library, reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, and put it into our hand. Put the rest on the bottom of our library in a random order. You're hoping for essentially a Lightning Strike or a Twinferno, so we can give something Double Strike or copy Lightning Strike and get 6 damage through to our opponent's face. Pump our Festival Crasher. Fading Hope 2 of their creatures, to make room for our attack. Shore up 2 of our creatures. Double up on Play with Fire to their face, so we get to scry 2, whatever. But what I think needs to happen is we already have Arcane Infusion. So I think I could maybe add another of these and then lose 2 of these and I would like to put in a card that is a bomb, something that is really going to get a lot of damage through to our opponent. 3 damage to any target. It probably won't be Knight. But a Rending Flame could be okay, especially if we double it. 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Oh no, if it's a spirit, never mind. That's not what we want. But even something like a Tushi the Blazing Sky might help us in the late game. But I would like a. We could use the. No, we don't have black mana. These are all deal damage to target creatures. Burning a Curse wouldn't be terrible. Burn down the house wouldn't be terrible. 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. It would essentially wipe our entire board. which I don't think we would want. Burn the Accursed. 5 damage target creature, 2 damage target creature's controller. What I would like is a card that says deal 5 damage to target opponent. You know. But I just don't know that that exists. Let's see here. Magma Pummeler enters with X 1/1 counters on it. If damage would be dealt to while it has a 1/1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove that when 1/1 counters. When one or more counters are removed this way, it deals that much damage to any target. So that could be a good late game mana sink. Would allow us to beat down, but it would also leave us in a spot where we might not be able to get damage through to our opponent. Let's look at him. If it's neither day or night, it becomes day as Vadric Astral Archmage enters the battlefield. Instants and sorcery spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is his power. When day becomes night or night becomes day, put a 1/1 counter on Vadric. That's not terrible. Balmor wouldn't be a terrible addition either. It's just that he's a little slow, I guess. Creatures you control gain +1/+0 and gain trample until end of turn. That would be nice. Maybe I ditch Thirst for Discovery and another land and run both of him. That would bring us down to 20 lands. That's not very many. Although our deck just runs so low to the ground, we don't really need to worry. Wandering Mind helps us find our spells later in the game, which can be very nice. I used to run Najal the Stormrunner and Storm Skrillex. But they don't seem to have the impact that I would like on the game. But let's consider them. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're going to leave it the way it is for now. But I think there's room to work with it. It does very well for me. But I think there's room in this slot, particularly, to make some changes. But we'll say done. And then Golgari Humans is centered around Jaren the Corrupted Bishop. When it enters the battlefield or another non-token human you control dies, you lose 1 life and create a 1/1 white human creature token. Pay 2 mana, target human you control gains lifelink until end of turn. At the beginning of your end step, if you have exactly 13 life, you may pay 4 and 2 black. If you do, transform him into Ormondal the Corruptor, Flying Trample lifelink, sack a creature, draw a card, and he's a 6/6. We run things like Ecstatic Awakener, Bone Splinters. This could go, I think. It doesn't generally help me all that much. Gala Greeters, okay. Outland Liberator, the Destroy Target Artifact or Enchantment is good. But he's not great. But our goal is basically just being aggressive with all of our creatures. And then like I have ramp here, which I don't need because I don't have anything that's that expensive to ramp into. But our goal is just kind of being aggressive with our creatures. Hopefully flipping Jaren. And then using Ghoul Caller's Harvest to, create 6, 8, 10 zombie creature tokens at the end of the game. Um, like I said, I made this deck purely because I needed a green-black deck so I could make it through my quests. It's not very good. I think I need to take out Azusa's Many Journeys and Weaver of Blossoms and add some more threatening green creatures that allow me to play more aggressively. Let's check what we could maybe add. Um, get this off of here. Evolved Sleeper would be cool. I only have one. I have enough wild cards. I could make a few things, but I kind of want to save them. I've got a few decks I want to make, and I don't want to. Vehicles, no. Um, Something like Doom Dissenter wouldn't be bad because he gets us another token. He replaces himself. He allows us to be aggressive. So if we sacrifice him, we're still getting a 2/2. That would be good for Ecstatic Awakener. And then he fills our graveyard, which helps us with Ghoul Caller's Harvest. Let's see. Now, if it's a cultist, drawing us a card wouldn't be bad. Mm. Crew 2, when it attacks, you may sack an artifact or creature. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on it and gains menace until end of turn. That isn't bad. That could be that could fit over Weaver of Blossoms at least. Yeah, let's take out Weaver of Blossoms. Let's put him in. Let's put both of him in. Let's take out one of Azusa's Many Journeys. Let's. Is there any other more aggressive creatures we could run? Vengeful Strangler is a card I really like. When it dies, return to the battlefield transformed under your control, attached to target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. At the beginning of your upkeep, enchanted permanent's controller sacks a non-land permanent, then that player loses 1 life. That fits. He's a human also. So we could maybe lose our... Probably lose 1 copy of Jaren. 3 is maybe a lot for a legendary. Let's go down to 3 of him. And let's remove the rest of Azusa's Many Journeys. Because he, while he's not good, restore target artifact or enchantment is pretty good. Let's remove those. And let's run 3 Vengeful Stranglers. That keeps us still fairly low to the ground. We're running... How many lands do we have? 24. Probably a lot for a deck that doesn't have anything that costs more than 3. So let's see if there's another... That could be good. Read ahead so we can choose which one it starts on. Target opponent may sacrifice a non-land, non-token permanent. If they don't, they lose 2 life and I draw a card. But is there... Is there a 4 or 5 mana card that fits into this deck well? Bat Whisperer wouldn't be terrible. 4/2 creates us another Soul Transfer would give us some utility, although we are unlikely to control an artifact and enchantment, especially since I removed the other one. But I could throw in Braid's Frightful Return, remove Venom Connoisseur, throw in this, and then we're likely to have an enchant or an artifact with this, so that when I get Soul Transfer, I could do both. Return target creature, exile target creature, planeswalker, return target creature, planeswalker from your graveyard to your hand. This might be good. Bloodsworn Knight's power and toughness are each equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Pay 1 in black, discard a card. Bloodsworn Knight gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. So, sort of regenerate, I guess. Although the tap it is not a cost, so you could use that while you were attacking. Pay 1 in a black, discard a card, gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. Then if there are 4 more creature cards in your graveyard, transform Bloodsworn Squire. That's not bad. We're making this not a green-black deck and more of a mono-black deck, though, as we go here. Let's see, what else could we play? Something with high power. That's decent. Morkrut Behemoth. Sack a creature or pay 1 in a black. So it costs 7 for a 7/6 with Menace. Or we sack a creature and it's 5 for a 7/6 with Menace. That's pretty solid. But again, I feel like then we're losing. We want humans for him because we would like to lose life and get to 13 life so we can flip him. So having humans is important. Elf Druid is not a human. Is there a human in green? Probably not. That's 4 mana or something like that. Human werewolf. That could be good. 4/4/4/4, it's daybound. This wouldn't be terrible either. Jukai Preserver. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, so it's 4/4/4/4, but it is a human. Or discard it, which puts it into our graveyard, and then put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. Let's see, anything else that... That could be good. It's got Ward. 5 mana for a 6/5 with Ward. And it's a human. So I'm thinking maybe we get rid of Venom Connoisseur, add our Burly Breaker, And then we have one more. For basic land card that doesn't share a land type with land you control, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. That is unlikely to happen. Pay 6 mana, 5 and a green, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. Put X/1/1 counters on it, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Activate only as a sorcery, so that'd be 2. That's not good. Training. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/1 green boar creature token. That's not bad. Let's see, human. Werewolf? That's not very good. We're getting into our dual colors. Are there Old Rutstein? Mill a card. If a land is milled, create a treasure token. If a creature is milled, create a 1/1 green insect. If a non-creature, non-land card is milled, create a blood token. I don't hate that. We could probably lose Gala Greeters. He would do the same thing. And since they're an elf, be 3. Let's add 3 of Old Rutstein. I think that's a little bit better than it was before. A little bit better curve. Another trouble there, though. 3 of a legendary, you're unable to play the second one. Though, just playing it when you have one out puts a card in your graveyard, which plays into our Gold Collar's Harvest plan. Oh, half the number of creature cards in our graveyard rounded up. That isn't as good as I thought it was. But our goal is playing it late game, so I mean, we're probably going to get the number because we're going to play it twice. We're going to play it and we're going to flash it back. Yeah. I also really want to make a card with, or a deck around Ancient Lumberknot. And then there's that one, where am I going? That one black card that transforms. It's got a toughness matters. Effect. Where is it? I don't see it now. I think it's got a pretty low power. I don't think it's that. There it is. 1/5. Catapult fodder. So using that, Ancient Lumberknot. And then sack creature, target opponent loses life equal to the sacrifice creature's toughness. And sacrifice this in a with Tree of Perdition. That would be great. They lose 13 life. That would be awesome. Oh, nope, we don't want to craft. We're done. And then the deck we're going to play with, this is taking forever, sorry, is this blood token deck. So basically, it revolves around Anje, Maid of Dishonor. So she says whenever she enters, or one or more vampires enter, create a blood token. Triggers only once each turn. Pay 2, sack another creature a blood token. Each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. We run Sanguine Statuette. So we would rather not actually use our blood token's effect to sack a blood token. We would rather use her effect and then have these flip into 3/3s. Cathartic Pyre for a little bit of draw and a little bit of creature planeswalker removal. Valerian Bloodcaster, getting a blood token. If we have enough, we can transform her. Flying at the beginning of combat on a turn, up to 1 blood token you control becomes a 2/2 bat, black bat with flying and haste. Fake Your Own Death, that helps us keep Anje alive. Hero's Downfall, destroy target Planeswalker, Falcon with 4 black, Bearer, can't block, deals combat damage, create a blood token, pay a black, sack 2 blood tokens, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Lacerate Flesh, deals 4 damage to target creature, create a number of blood tokens equal to the amount of excess damage dealt to that creature this way. Not a great card, because we're unlikely to be, by turn 5 when we can play it, we're probably not killing something that has less than 4 toughness. But it's there. Falcon with Celebrants, when it enters, create 2 blood tokens. It's a menace 4/4. Yeah, not a great deck, but I built it I just wanted to build a deck that was entirely focused around blood tokens, and plus Lacerate Flesh looks cool. I had just watched Hulu's new Hellraiser series, which was, I thought, great. It's what, if you haven't ever seen a Hellraiser before, it's not going to blow your mind or anything. But if you want a gory movie with, a solid plot, it's pretty disposable, but it's decent. It's fun to watch. It's gory. You get that thrill of, people being stupid and why are you doing that? But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And that made me want to build a deck that was kind of gory. Spit my gum out so I can drink some of this two-berry dream. Let me check something quick here. No, we're good. Yeah, so I think this is done. And we're going to play. Almost certainly going to lose, but we're going to play. I tested it out against bots. Did okay. But yeah, let's see how we do. Ooh, these are dying. It's very hot. Ick. Don't vape, kids. Ooh, yeah. Very hot. Don't like that at all. We can't play this, so we have to mulligan. That's much better. We'll probably ditch our Lacerate Flesh, I think. Not a great opening hand, but oh man, that didn't need that. We'll play it anyway. We'll get our Blood Tithe Harvester out. Ooh, maybe we'll do our Bloodcaster instead. Yeah, let's get a Bloodcast. No, let's do our Harvester. Blood Tithe Harvester. Create a blood token. So now they know what I'm doing. Very on theme here with their sleeves and stuff. Oh, this card I was looking at, so that Kevin Conroy died recently, and they made a Batman, TCG player did a Batman themed commander deck, and then the Green Ranger died also, and I was thinking of a card that might be good for him, and this is one of them. There's that green white dragon. There's a couple different copies of, which I also thought fit, but yeah, interesting there. Let's play our Haunted Ridge. Next, let's just do that. No swing, no attacks. Let's play our Blood Tithe Harvester, and then we'll probably sack a blood token to draw a card on their turn. We'll discard one of our lands. Ah, bummer. They're just going to have too much. We're not going to be able to swing in. Hero's Downfall. I could take out their... Or I could Cathartic Pyre, and then I could fake my own death. Let's do that. Let's do this. No, not yet. Next to combat. All attack. 2 attackers. Next to blockers. Then we will fake our own death on this. Next to damage. And then I was just going to kill him, but I think now I just play my Bloodcaster. I love that fake your own death card. Oh, and she's flying. I didn't even notice she flew. So 5 or more. I'm going to need a lot in order to do that. Wedding announcement. So she's going to get blood tokens as well, right? Oh no, she creates 1/1 humans. I think we kill Torrens Fist of the Angels and then swing with everything. Double up on one of our blood tithes, but that's fine. In turn. And then we've got mana up to kill whatever giant creature they play this turn. Not very many. I don't remember the name of that old card. It's like a hawk that lets you do the same thing. You could go search your library for all of them and put them in your hand. Yeah, I don't blame them for doing that. Oh, bummer. Ah, that was a drag. Okay, cool. We got Anje. Can't protect her, though. Do we swing with Blood Tithe? I don't think we do. I think we play Anje. Next to combat, no attacks. Let's play Anje, Maid of Dishonor. I mean, there is a wedding announcement after all. And then we end turn. I'm able to play so many of those. Ugh. Weak. Oh, that sucks. We didn't need another land. Let's play it. We can sacrifice 3 blood tokens at least. Hero's Downfall. I think I save. No attacks. Well, I could take out 2 of theirs with my hero's downfall. I don't think that's a good idea. No attacks. End turn. I think they're going to play something else significantly stronger than anything we can do. I'm just going to have to kill again. Oh, okay. Oops, submit 1. There we go. Well, our deck is working as intended. Alright. So now we can kill one of our 4/2s. Sorcery. Next to combat. No attacks. Let's play Lacerate Flesh on this. Create some extra blood tokens. And end the turn. We might be able to win just with our blood token sacrifice, Anje, Maid of Dishonor. We still have Hero's Downfall in case they play something huge. They're going to be able to swing. Well, they really can't. I mean, they could Alpha Strike and deal quite a bit of damage, but the life total I'm at and the life total they're at is not going to allow them a substantial amount of attackers. 3 green mana up and a card in hand. I think we don't play this, because then we can sap 6 mana from them next to combat. No attacks. End turn. Now it's a drag. I think they're going to be able to win here. As long as he only holds 1 creature back. And they can Hero's Downfall it. They have no cards in hand. Yeah, I think that's game. Good game. Woo! That was fucking yes. Look at 50% win rate. That was a good match. That was a really good match. Can't believe I pulled that off. But that shows the strength of that Anje Maid of Honor. And the ability to create blood tokens. If they don't deal with her, and that's why I included the Fake Your Own Death, because if I'd drawn another copy of her instead of one of these lands, or that instead of one of these lands, I could have won even without that. They really should have held extra creatures back. I mean, I'd had a, you know my deck is going to have, I'm running red-black. I obviously have ways to deal damage to you, or kill your creatures, so that the Alpha Strike was not the move there. Well, that was a good win. I'm so glad. Alright, and the power of Hellraiser. Yeah, okay. That was cool. Alright, claim prize. Claim prize. Yeah, I think we're gonna call that a video. That was, we're at, what are we at here? About an hour. Yeah, I think we'll call that for now. But this is the beginning of me playing standard in a series. So yeah, look forward to more in the future. Yeah, bye.